I'm here to bring you another slice of the feminine rebellion, and we have Julia Neumann from Raw, Radically Alive Women. We're going to be talking into the power of rage, being with our feelings, and stepping into the next culture beyond matriarchy, patriarchy, and talking archiarchy today. Julia, thank you so, so much for being here. I'm so happy to be with you for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Glad to be here too.
feel like we're on the cusp of something remarkable with you just coming out of a 3-day immersion. So I welcome and honor the new version that you have become. Please tell us a little bit about the magic that you have been co-creating on Wainui Bay.
Yes, it is actually really magic. And the co-creation was this wild women coming together to be radically alive together. And if each woman radically honors her own magic, we create this container that just magic just flows out, and healing happens, and evolution happens, and aliveness is there because it comes through each woman naturally. And so we raged together, we cried together, we play fighted together, we cooked together, we sang this tune, we held each other, and it's just so juicy of witnessing the wisdom that each woman holds naturally, and to simply make space for that to come out, so that it's there, so that the magic can unfold.
I'm so deeply moved by your deep comprehension of the wisdom, and my words are the medicine that moves through us, that life has given us for us to share with one another. And I would love to hear what was maybe one of the biggest catalysts for you, calling you deeply into this vibrancy and raw power that you are, Julia.
Oh, good question. I mean, my pain. It's really my pain about, and I so honor that journey. I spoke to the women also this weekend about, I had such a pain to be born in a female body as a young girl. I was so angry about that. I thought it was so unfair, and I blamed God, even though I didn't really believe in God. But as a child, I must have. So I blamed Creator for birthing me into a female body. And then I had to go through this pain of, like, why did I not want to be in a female body? It's because I sensed immediately with all my sense, like, this world is not made for females. Like, out there, this is like, I'm not fitting into this. And so this pain was my catalyst to go to rub against this pain, keep rubbing against it until I got it. And it's like, no more. Like, no more. I've had enough of this, and I have no idea what else is possible. And I found this body of work called possibility management that empowered me to honor my feelings, to say, yes, you are born with anger. Yes, you are born with sadness. Yes, you are born with fear. Yes, you are born with joy. And they hold this wisdom, and go feel it, and then listen to the wisdom. And that led me to being in this weekend and sitting there in awe, and just this big, huge heart expansion of ecstasy of being alive in a woman's body, in a woman's body, and going, I was born for this, and I'm so glad I'm in a woman's body, because then I get to experience these spaces. And it's amazing. And it goes even beyond that. It goes into this realization that I am in a woman's body, also with this task of birthing the next culture. And that is such an honor. Like, my pain is the fuel for creating something different.
So deeply moving to witness you, Julia, for consecrating and utilizing that pain and that exquisitely painful rubbing that you endured, so that you can recognize what you're here to bring through. And as someone who deeply cares about being devoted to the feminine, honoring the feminine in others, and really seeking to enlarge and expand that in the world, I love that you are on the cusp of bringing through this new culture of archiarchy. And I'd really love to invite forward the definition. Anyone who hasn't heard of this before, Julia gave me a beautiful description earlier. So please allow yourself to sit and be and listen to what she's bringing through, because I just felt full body tingles. Julia, please, we are here to hear you.
Yes. So archiarchy is the next culture that is already emerging now that patriarchy and matriarchy have run their course. Now, matriarchy served a purpose, and it was this mother-based culture of the mother and the mother nature provides and the children receive. And that's a child level of responsibility. And then patriarchy and followed on, and that was this is a culture of adolescent responsibility. And what do adolescents do? They test their boundaries, and they break things, and they don't clean up their messes, and they just test out, and yeah, they create big messes. And that's what we see on the planet as a result of the patriarchal culture. So it's doing its job well, because its job is to have adolescent responsibility. And archiarchy is emerging now, that there is this necessity for women and men to initiate into their adulthood, into their adult level of responsibility, which includes play. Like, it has nothing to do with the patriarchal definition of adulthood. And then to collaborate, radically collaborate, even higher levels of responsibility, radical levels of responsibility, where there's no more excuses. It's only about, what do you source? I am at source, you are at source. And then we create from that, and we get to choose, what do we create? And if I create something that doesn't serve me, that doesn't serve the planet, that doesn't serve what my being is here for, letting those survival strategies fall apart that invite me to be comfortable and to invite me to be safe, then we get to really create something extraordinary together. And the latest part of wisdom that I've let infiltrate my pores, and that also resonates so deeply in me from other women's researchers, it's a woman's job in archiarchy, or to source archiarchy, to be at the source of letting it come through, birthing that culture. Because this is what our bodies are designed for also, not just on a physical level, on an energetic level, to let this new life come through. And we need a regenerative culture. That is what archiarchy is.
My being is just so expanded and enriched and fortified, and it feels regenerative just hearing you, Julia, speak so powerfully and profoundly. I'm just witnessing myself this year, even collaborating with you this year has really felt like that for me. And the only people that I'm really standing beside in my life and in my business right now are people who have matured, who have been initiated through their pain to rise and hold their ground in their purpose, to be really willing to surrender how it looks and what people think and how we even perceive this ourselves, to really create that clarity, for it to move through in the purity of what I call, reciprocity and synergy. That when you're standing beside someone who's standing in themselves, there's just so much more that we're able to receive, because there's not that adolescent immaturity present, like you're saying, where it's just like, oh, whoops, and then just walk straight past. Like, infuriating. I love the role that sacred rage has played in your life and in this whole emergence of what you're bringing through with Raw right now. Would you mind really sharing what you feel the quintessential glory of rage is, in your words, from your experience, Julia?
Yes. Like, in order for women to even start being able to source archiarchy, like, rage is essential. Like, women have been angry for their whole lives, like for generations. Women have been angry because naturally there's this mountain of rage in women, because they have been immersed in a culture that does not acknowledge the feminine. So, and it also doesn't acknowledge the life in men, but it's just more obvious. And for a woman, it's just so obvious. It's in her face all the time. And so this rage, like when that can come out and can be learned to use for action, for taking a radical, bold stand, and that is necessary, it will feel like dying at times. It will necessitate also it will necessitate a radical stand for like also these old ways of relating with men to die. And in order to be able to hold that and to be able to be so bold, rage is absolutely necessary. And there is this new way of rage that can be learned, where it's no longer against, it's really this rage for creation, this putting the bar here because you know that this is where you want to relate. And you need this anger, clarity, and focus and determination to say, if you want to be with me, this is where you have to be. And if you can't be there, no problem. But I'm not going to lower my bar so that you can relate with me.
Oh my goodness, everyone is fast realizing why I have the deepest reverence and respect for you, Julia. Thank you so much for really standing in your truth to bring this powerful conversation forward. I know that Raw is the dedication of your life, that radically alive women are the people who are gathering around you. It's what you stand for in the world. And that now this beautiful vision for where we can go to when we are standing in the boldness and in the retrieval of our truth, that we can actually hold that standard and really ask others to rise up and meet us there. I have deep reverence for you right now. And for those who are listening, curious about Archiarchy, curious about the sacred gift of rage, and wanting to learn more about becoming radically alive, what are your favorite places to play in, Julia?
My favorite places to play in. It's a great question. Like I'm constantly creating new spaces and still like being with women and supporting them on their journey to rage together. So I hold rage clubs. And so find me and join a rage club and try it out for yourself. And also it's about, in Archiarchy, it's not about, it's about replacing myself. And I'm so glad that these other women are coming and they're like, yes, I'm also passionate about rage. So there's an infinite elegance that can be developed with rage, with conscious anger, where it becomes this really clean, clear sword that just goes boom, just with the tip of the sword, and you've set your boundary. And that is higher or that's like, it takes training and practice. And so I'm passionate about getting like the other women to do the entrance level of rage, and I'm moving on to the more elegant ways of rage. So this is a journey, and I'm also really passionate about creating with women and empowering women in their creation force. So I'm holding space for that in one-on-one coachings, and also, so I have a lot of online presence, and it's all on my website. And this other piece that I want to bring are two more pieces. One is this queen making, like supporting women to honor their inner queen, or you might want to call it goddess, like this dignity in women, and to walk beside women as they develop that strength in themselves to honor radically their dignity. Yes, and the next piece is coming. It's like new ways of collaborating as women. How do we radically collaborate and take this radical stand also for systems and organizations that are sustainable, regenerative even? So that's another piece.
I really wrote down those words, Julia, the strength to honor their dignity. And I feel, yeah, genuine awe having the chance to behold you and be a part of standing near you. I want to encourage anyone who's listening to this interview to share with us the piece that has reached your heart. I'm going to include the links to be able to find where Yulia is showing up on social media, so you can contribute to this conversation, add your wisdom, and also find more about the work that is coming forward through Yulia Neumann. It is such an honor to witness you and make space for your voice, your wisdom, and your mana today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lysa, for creating this.